Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kaysing, your host, and this is my partner, Miss Sophheavy. And we are from Media News. Our hotline today are: there were heavy flood due to the heavy rain from last night. 10 fishing boats are reported lost at sea. 10 fishermen are feared dead. And our last hotline is that there were two couples were caught doing something smoothies, steamy smooth, which were caught at a masquerade ball, which is at the Lady Capulet house, the resident. And let's take a look at the clip, shall we?
All right, we would like to know more behind this story, the scandal between Romeo and Juliet. So let's hear from our reporter.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here from other side. I'm thankful to our news anchor, Miss Lee, for giving me the floor as a new reporter. Right now, I'm in Verona, Italy, and I have invited two people to give us the detail about the news that just appeared. So, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What Romeo and you at the Capulet party last night?
Yes, we are at the party last night.
So yes, you already know that the most powerful families is the long life enemy, right? Why were you and Romeo attending the party?
I wanted to prove Romeo wrong that there are other girls prettier than Rosaline. And Romeo also wanted to prove me wrong.
So yes, what do you feel about your friend's change of love?
I feel excited that Romeo can move on from Rosaline.
Can you confirm about the news that it is real or not?
Yes, of course it is real.
Oh, so by your opinion, do you think what will happen about what will happen if the Capulet noticed both of you last night?
Before going to the party, I think that if the Capulet had caught us, they would punish us, or even worse, they could have killed us.
Oh, it sounds so serious, right? Anyway, thank you for answering my question.
Thank you.
We would like to hear the public think about this. Ms. Sokha, the floor is yours.
Thank you again for giving me the applause, Miss Liz. Let's come back to my interview with the public who already saw the news. Good morning, Miss. Would you mind if I ask you some questions? Okay. You already know the news about the Romeo and Juliet, right? What do you feel after hearing the news?
After I heard the news, I was really surprised. Yes, at the first time I was really surprised because all people at Verona know that the Montague and Capulet are the enemies for a very long time ago. Besides that, their family are the enemy, the great enemy. I honestly think that Romeo and Juliet really make a perfect couple because apparently they look good with each other since Romeo is a handsome man and Juliet is a beautiful lady. And as we seen in the leaked photo, their chemistry was insane, unlike when Juliet was dancing with Count Paris. So if they are dating for real, I'm very happy for them.
Okay. Do you think the boss make the pictures and the Capulet accept the news?
I think they will not, of course, because they always think of each other as the enemy.
So yes, one last question. By your opinion, what will happen to the two families?
I think the boss might be angry with Romeo and Juliet, or maybe they're trying to separate them.
Thank you so much for answering all my questions. I hope the both powerful families will no longer enemy after hearing the news between Romeo and Juliet. Right now, let's come back to our news anchor.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Kerr. And now let's hear about the opinion from our professor, which is in a PhD in society and sociology and majoring in human behaviors. Let's hear from Mr. Panhavuth first.
All right, Professor Panhavuth, can you share your opinion on this matter? Do you think family background matter in love?
So, in my opinion, I think that family background shouldn't matter when it comes to love. Whether you're white or black, rich or poor, and old or young.
Okay, and now let's hear from our professor, Kiwi. Miss Kiwi, do you believe that family background matter in love?
Well, personally, family's background should not interfere with how you're going to choose your significant others. However, there are two sides to everything. So I want to elaborate that sociologically, love is not only limited to the two person, but also of the two families. So like people tend to over romanticize on love and being in a relationship, but it's more to that in real life. It's not just about love at first sight, but you have to, I could say, cross check their perspectives, their backgrounds, their beliefs to see if they would actually click with you in the long term. So like therefore it is always important to have a little family background done before things get more serious, because there are chances that you regret that relationship later on. For instance, if their family give you too much of a hard time, or if they disrespect you, then I don't think that it's worth it to continue pursuing that love, because by the end of the day you will feel small and you will feel unhappy anyways.
Totally agree with that. Let's move to the second question, shall we?
Okay, so Professor Panhavuth, do you think, what age is appropriate in love? What do you think?
So when it comes to love, age is relevant. Anyone can love at any age. However, if there was a rule, I think that 16 to 18 would be perfect, because it is at this age that the person will gain more, like much better understanding, responsibility, trust, and respect.
Thank you, Professor Pinewood. And what about you, Miss Sopheavy? What do you believe it is? Which age is exactly right for being in love?
Correct. What do you think?
All right. For this question, I do agree with Mr. Panyawood, that there's no such thing as age limit when it comes to love. However, I believe that one should involve in a relationship only if they know these two things, which include responsibility and accountability.
Exactly right. And for the last question.
Yes, the last question. Professor Panhavuth, how do you think this will affect both families?
Yes, of course, if everything goes well, both family will be reunited as one big family, and everyone will be happily ever after.
And for you as well, Mr. Pee, what do you believe? How do you think this will affect to both family? This family has been our greatest enemy of all.
Well, as I've said earlier, love is not limited to the two persons, but also to of the two families. And as we've seen regularly on the news, broadcasts, newspapers, these two families, the Capulets and the Montagues, have always been on bad terms. So with their power in militaries and politics, I don't think that the bond between their children alone could solve this long-lasting feuds between the two families. Nevertheless, I just hope the best for both Romeo and Juliet.
Alright, thank you so much from our professor for your time and your dedications. And isn't like Miss Sylvan, do you believe that Romeo and Juliet, we have known that their family has been in fraud for so many years? And do you wonder what will happen next?
Yeah.
Yes, you and me are both wondering about what will happen next. So stay tuned in the medical news. We'll come back to you. Thank you and have a good one.
Thank you.